Our sponsors, for the perspective, Fireway Pizza are offering you guys 20% off using our discount code AD20. Use it today, man. Save money, be patterned. We got you. AD20, Fireway Pizza.
Bro, like, Belmarsh is that's like a serious jail, right? Or is it not? I mean, how does it work out?
You know what, the serious jails in the UK are the dispersals, isn't it? You know, like Belmarsh.
So what's a dispersal? Sorry, I actually don't know what that means.
It's like them jails where all the lifers are.
Okay.
People with big sentences, and you know, there's serious things going on in them jails. Belmarsh is a serious jail. It's a legendary prison, but like it's just prison, innit?
Do you find prison reforms people, or do you think it makes people worse?
It depends on the character. I'll say when I went prison, I went to big man jail. When I first went to big man jail, it was a high down, and I was 18, and that taught me how to be a man. You know, when I was younger, I was babied a lot. You know, like your mum would cook food for you, wash your clothes, and da-da-da-da. You don't know how to do fuck all. So when I got into that prison, that taught me how to be a man. You have to be a man. You have to learn, you know, you have to defend yourself. I learned that in the streets anyway, but especially in prison, you're on your own. So you could step onto a landing. There's some other guys, they don't know who the fuck you are. People are going to test you. You get me? You got to stand on your feet and stand your ground and make people know, raw. I'm not fucking about. Don't fuck about with me. Don't go in my cell. Don't steal my shit. Just don't fuck with me. You get me? And a lot of the time in prison, you have to make that known. Now, like, you know, in the latter days when we go into prison, like the whole jail knows who we are or whatever. So it's like a walk in the park. But in the early days, you kind of got to stamp your ground. You get me?
So what does it mean if someone like comes into your cell? Like, what is it?
Like, I'll say when I first went into high down, the first few days, so I got in there. I'm a quiet guy. Like, I'll just kind of keep myself to myself. I'm banged up with 2 white youths. They're cool, but they're kind of like nerds. You get me? Like, not nerds, but they're just not really like that. Anyway, like, got my canteen, my cocoa butter and all of that. Went to go and have a shower. Come back, my cocoa butter's missing. You get me?
Man, I have cream is skin.
So I'm saying, rah, like, there's chocolates and their stuff's missing. So I'm saying to them, rah, what, go on? They're like, oh, like, I think them youths next door, they always take our stuff and da-da-da. So I'm saying, rah, like, so I've gone out on the landing and checked the youths next door, and I've said, yo, whatever you took out my cell, put it back in my cell, and put my shit back and put my cellmate's shit back. And it was like, right. I said, yeah, put my shit back, I'm going to break your fucking head, bro. Like, da-da-da-da. So make sure by the time I go and get my dinner and come back, my shit's there. It's like, what? I said, well, come in the shower now, innit? But the youths, they're not even, like, the youths are just bullying the white youths, and they're not really even like that themselves, you get me? So by the time I come back, they put the, oh, you don't need to go on like that. I said, bro, don't touch none of my shit. Don't touch my cellmate shit. Boom. No one else would fuck with my shit. They see, well, you know what I mean? And that's prison. Every prison you go, you got to stamp your authority, you get me? Like, you might go to a prison in fucking Nottingham or wherever. People don't know who you are. Your reputation and your ends, like, they don't know. So you have to stamp your authority and stand for your shit. Otherwise, people will just take the piss out of you.
Do you, I think a common thing that I found, like, even from speaking to, like, other artists, is that people who used to have beef on different ends, when they get into jail, sometimes they may realise, like, you know, it's not like that. Was that like that for you, or was it different, or was it more political?
You know what, like, serious beef, it does get like that. It does get like that, but serious beef, some people, they don't become friends in jail, innit? Like, I see people saying that, but like serious beef where people are killing each other, like it kicks off in jail, and I've seen it go off, you get me? But then, like, it's wishy-washy, because jail is jail, road is road. So when you're in jail, it's a different world, isn't it? Like, everyone's trying to do their bird. You might have beef with them and think, oh, like, whatever. You don't even talk to him like that, but you know what it is. You know what I mean? Like, but jail is jail, the streets is the streets. You get me? And in jail, a lot of the prison systems in the UK are run by the Brotherhood and Islam. So once you come into jail, you come to the masjid, the brothers will tell you, oh, whatever beef you man have got, leave that on the roads and da-da-da-da-da, you know what I mean? So it's just one of them ones.
What was it like for your family when you're inside, though? Like you said, like, you know, you went in, like, you're not babied, but you had your mum, like, doing stuff. Like, how does she deal with you then going inside? That must have been a challenge.
with the life that I was living, and you know, the life that I grew up in, it was always something that was on the table.
Okay.
You know, like jail was always something that I looked at like, right, could happen, and I'm sure my mother, you know, with the life that I was living, she knew in the back of her mind that it could happen, and obviously, like she wouldn't wish that for her son, or like, you know, she probably wouldn't believe her son was doing all the stuff that I was doing or whatever. But you know, like that's just the life we grew up in. You know, my brothers was doing things when I was younger. I saw them doing stuff, then I was doing stuff. Like it's just something we had to deal with.
Sometimes people say that, and I'm not going to put this on TV, but they say that like jail sometimes saved their life because it kept them away from the streets when things were really active.
Yeah, you could say that. You could say that. And jail, to me, as a street guy, if you're serious in the street, jail's only gonna expand you, because you're gonna go into prison. You're gonna meet other guys, you know, like at the same level you are, from other areas, or guys that are on a higher level than you. And you know, jail's only gonna expand you. You know, it depends what you use jail to do. And you can create a lot of good friendships in jail. Like you meet a lot of real people in there. In prison, it's not the street. So you might be in prison and a man's next door to you and he just dresses normal. He wears like normal trainers and a tracksuit. You don't know this guy's a millionaire. You get me? So you can't really judge people by the cover. You have to judge people of how they deal with you and how you deal with them. And you know, you really get to know people in prison.
I mean, what else does it teach you? Because I think, you know, I've never been inside, never sat down. Obviously, I have friends who have, but you know, you said it's about your character. But when you were inside, what did it bring out of you, like in terms of your character? What did you learn about yourself?
I learned that I like my own space. So when I'm in prison, I hate being in a cell with people. I like my own space. I just like to be in my own space so I can ponder and think. I like to be organised, you get me? When you're in prison, you got to be organised. Everything's in check, you know. I like to be up in the morning before the cells even open the door. And I say, like, a lot of people go to prison and they come out without learning. Like, they go into prison, they don't read, they don't train. When you go into prison, that's what you should be really doing: reading, learning, studying, training, bettering your mind and your body. Yeah.
When did actually the whole GB movement start?
In 2014.
Okay. So when did you actually come out then?
2012.
Okay.
2012 or 13 or something like that, yeah.
So was the plan for GB cultivated whilst you was inside? You knew when you were coming out, this is what you're going to do?
No, I wasn't planning to do the GB thing until like a short time before it. What happened is I went to the Mobos in 2013. Us, Fecky, we had a table at the Mobos, So this was the first time we come into the industry and kind of see what was going on. You get me? Me, Smiley, Skeng, Fecky, my cousin Big Bance, couple Peckham, man, we had a table. So it's the first time where I was in this industry and seeing what's going on. And then Fecky was kind of just blowing in the streets. So it was the first time like we was in, like we're just hood guys or street. We're not into this music. Like, you know, from our era, we weren't cool to rap as everyone knows. You get me? Like if you're rapping, like, you know what I mean? So we've come to this Mobos and I'm saying, rah, this music thing's actually Crept and Cone and them was over there, Tiny Temp. I'm saying, rah, this thing's actually popping off, innit? You get me? People are winning awards. I'm saying, rah, this thing's gonna be massive. So I said to Fecky, yo, I'm coming into this music thing. Like, it looks like it's you know. So that night, I ended up in jail in Scotland.
It's irony, but yeah.
I ended up in jail in Scotland. But you know what? That time in Scotland, I was in jail for a month. That's what gave me time to think and ponder. And I thought, you know what? When I come out, I'm gonna start a record label. I phoned Tommy Bones, Father Blue. I said, yeah, when I come out, we're gonna open a record label and do this music thing, because we've always been talking about it, but it's time. Like I've seen where it's about to go, and we need to get involved.